Good morning, everybody. I hope you have had a lovely weekend and welcome to Monday's maths lesson. And our maths lessons all this week are all to do with data and statistics. Now, statistics and data, but you might have seen people using data and statistics on the television when we've seen Boris Johnson and the scientists talking about the coronavirus. And they often share these pictures like this, these graphs and diagrams to show us what's going on with the coronavirus. So we're quite used to seeing data and statistics at the moment, and that's what all of our lessons are about this week. So for today's lesson, these are the things that you will need: a dry white pen, a whiteboard, a pencil and paper, and a ruler will be quite handy as well. So if you need to go and get any of those things, pause the video and then come back when you're ready. Okay, on with today's lesson, and we are going to begin by playing a game of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And this is a request. It was requested by Bobby. I feel a little bit like a radio DJ that people are sending in requests now. So, who wants to be a millionaire? For this game, you will need a whiteboard and a pen, and it's all to do with multiplication questions. So, are you ready to play? Okay, get your whiteboard ready, get your pen ready. For each question, there'll be 4 possibilities and you have to write down the right answer. So here we go, our first one. So it says 6 times 5, what is the answer? Is it A, 65? Is it B, 25? C, 30? Or D, 35? So either write down A, B, C or D. What do you think? 6 times 5. Okay, are you ready? 6 times 5 is 30. C, 30 was the right answer. Well done if you got it right. On to the next one. 10 times 5. What is the answer? Is it A, 15, B, 50, C, 5, or D, 105? A, 15, B, 50, C, 5, D, 105. Jot down your answer. And the answer is 50. 10 fives are 50. And then on to the next one. 5 times 5. What is the answer? Is the answer A, 25, B, 55, C, 50, or D, 10? So jot down either A, 25, B, 55, C, 50, or D, 10. And the answer is 25. Well done if you had that one correct. And this one's a little bit different now because it's not asking you what the answer is, it's asking you what the question is. So the answer is 20. What is the question? Is it A, 2 times 5, B, 5 times 5, C, 4 times 5, or D, 6 times 5? Jot down your answer. And the answer is C, 4 times 5. Well done if you had that one correct. On to the next one. This time the answer is 0, but what is the question? Is it 1 times 5, 0 times 5, C, 10 times 5, or D, 2 times 5? Is it A, 1 times 5, B, 0 times 5, C, 10 times 5, or D, 2 times 5? And the answer is, it's B, 0 times 5. 0 times anything, the answer is 0. And on to our last question. The answer is 10, but what is the question? Is it A, 50 divided by 5? Is it B, 5 add 5? Is it C, 2 times 5? Or is it D, 5 times 2? Jot down your answer. I might have been a bit sneaky on this one. And the answer is, it's all of them. You could have put any of them. The answer to all of those questions is 10. Well done if you had it correct. And so on with our lesson. And I said we're learning about statistics today. And in today's lesson, the question is, how do brilliant mathematicians use tally charts? So we're going to be finding out all about tally charts in just a second. Now, what we are going to do first of all, I need your help because Mr. Churchill's given me a bit of a challenge. I've got this bag here of pencils. He's doing something called a stock take. He wants to know how many pencils we've got. So I said I would go through this bag and I would find out how many pencils there are. So we have got in this bag some pink pencils, some blue pencils, and some yellow pencils. So first thing I am going to do is to draw what we call a table. Now, I don't mean a table that we sit on and we work at and we'll have our dinner at. A table, sometimes we use this in maths or another subject where we record information. Okay, so I'm going to use my ruler to draw a line there. This is the outside of my table, a line there, a line across the top, and I'm going to do a line down like that. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is put my line down there like that. Now, I did say in my bag I got some pink pencils, so I'm going to write here pink, and I've also got some blue pencils, so here I will write blue, and I've also got some yellow pencils, so here we're going to write yellow, like that, just enough room. Okay, now to find out how many we've got, we are going to do a tally chart. And every time I take one out, I have to think which color it is, and I put a little line next to the right word. So first up, well, we've got a blue pencil. So we've got one blue pencil. Next up, well, this time that's a pink pencil. Put a mark there. Oh, another pink pencil. Put a mark there. And a blue pencil. Let's put that there. And another blue pencil. Put that one there. And we've got a pink pencil. Let's put that there. And oh, our first yellow pencil. There we go. Put your mark there. Another pink one. Another pink one there. And a yellow one. And a blue one. And let's see, we've got a blue one and a pink one and another pink one and a yellow one, a pink one, and nearly there, only got a few left. We've got pink, blue, yellow, pink, and last of all, we've got a pink pencil. Let me put my mark on there. So I can put all of our pencils back into our bag, and I can tell Mr. Churchill how many we've got. But I've got to add all these up first of all, haven't I? And it's not easy to see, is it? All of those marks on there. In fact, it's a little bit tricky. I wonder if there was a better way that I could have tallied them. Now, it just so happens that there is, because these are the marks that I have got, that I have just done on my table there. And it is a little bit confusing, but somebody, when they invented tallying, they thought a really good way to do this is if we put things into groups. So if we look at our pink pencils, we've got, well, we've got a lot of lines there, but if we were going to put them into groups of 5, that would help us out. So I could take that one there, and I've used that 5th mark to cross out a little group. So my 5th mark, I crossed out the 4 before it, and that's a group of 5. And I can do it again there. So now I've made another group of 5, and that makes it much easier to see. So I can see now I've got 2 groups of 5 and a 1. If I look at my blue pencils, I've got another group of 5, and then I've got 2 more. And if I look at my yellow pencils, well, I can see I've just got 4 lines there. So I haven't got to do any strikes across. So that will help me to work out how many pencils there are. So looking at the pink pencils, we've got 5, and we've got another 5, and we've got 1. So 5 and 5 and 1 is 11. And then if we look at our blue pencils, we've got a 5, and then we've got 2. 5 and 2 is 7. And if we look at our yellow pencils, we've got just 4 there. So we've got 4 in total. So that's how we do a tally chart. When we do tallying, once we get to doing the 5th tally, we strike across. And it looks a little bit like a fence or a gate, doesn't it? So here's something for you to look at. We have got 6 pictures here. of some numbers, different ways that we can represent numbers. Now, in all of those pictures, 2 of them show the same number. So what I want you to do is to have a little look, pause the video and see if you can work out which of those pictures both represent the same number. So pause the video, that should take you a couple of moments. Okay, how did you get on with that? Well, let's look at each one at a time. So let's start with our numicon shapes. So we can see we've got 2 of the blue ones, those are 10. So a 10, a 10, and a 3. So that number is 23. And then, oh, I've got a tally there. So I can see we've got those gates, and those gates, we know that means 5. So we've got a 5 and a 5 and a 2. So 5 and 5 is 10, and 2, that number is 12. Okay, let's look at the next one. We've got 5 and 5 and 5 and 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, and then we've got 3 more. 23 we've got there. Okay, now we'll go straight below. Underneath that, the green dots are on our 10 frames. And if we filled them up, that means we've got a complete 10. So I know we've got a 10 and a 10 and a 10 and a 3. So we've got 23. Oops, excuse me, 23. And if we move across to our Dean's cubes, our base 10 cubes, those long rods are 10. So we've got a 10, a 10, and a 1. So that is 11. And then we've got some more Dean's cubes. We've got a 10, a 10, a 10, a 10. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, and 3 ones. That's 43. So our matching pairs was this one here and this one there. I hope you got that correct. I wonder if anybody fell into the trap of matching the this one over here, our tally, with this one over here, our Deans, because we've got 4 completed tallies, but each of those is 5, not 10. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to start to do some tallying, and we're going to just wait outside the school, because I know that all of the teachers, it's the end of the day, and they're all going to be leaving in a moment. And I'd like to see how many teachers have got which different coloured cars. So we're going to keep a tally of the different cars as they leave. So hopefully any second now, we'll see some of the cars leaving. So to do my tally, I'm just going to use my whiteboard, and as the cars come out, we'll keep a tally on there. Okay, any cars? No. Oh, there we go. There's a red car. Oh, I think that's probably Mr. Churchill. So we've got 1 red car so far. So we need to write red, and then 1. Oh, there's a yellow car. Oh, I think that was Mrs. Thou. We've got 1 yellow car. Oh, there's Mrs. Earl in her black car. Okay. That's Mr. Postman Pat. He's just been doing the delivering letters. We've got another red car. Oh, another black car. That was Miss Sadler, I think. Put another black one there. And, well, that looks like the Batmobile, but that's a black car. Another one there. And, oh, somebody's leaving in a taxi. If that's a black taxi, so we need to put another line. We've got 4 black cars. Oh, look at that little red car. Who's got one of those ones in their garden? Another one for the red, and another red car. That's our 4th red car. And a black van. That's the 18th van. So another black one. Oh, we've crossed out our 5 black cars. Oh, there's a black Mini. I wonder which teacher that is. Another one for the black. And, oh, that was it. A funny little black car. There we go. Another one. And a little yellow van, another one for the yellows, and another yellow car. That's a cool car, isn't it? Another one on the yellows, a black one, a line next to black, and oh, there's another red one. That's a smart car. I'd like that one. We've got 5 reds now. And any more cars? Oh, look at that one. That car's called Herbie, and that's a white one. That's our first white car. And a silver car, our first silver car. Was that James Bond, I wonder? And there's a black car. That car's called Kit. Another one for the blacks. And a red car. There we go. One more for the reds. And, oh, there's a black car. That was the first car I had. Another black car. And there's another smart black car. Any more? Any more staff leaving? That's it. They've all gone home. So if we have a little look at our tally chart, we can see, we can count up how many red cars there are. So we had 5 and 1, that was 6. We had 3 yellow cars. For the blacks, we had 5 and 5, which is 10, and 1 is 11. And then we had 1 white car and 1 silver car. So the most popular coloured car for our staff was black. 11 people left in the black car. And I did say this before. When we're doing our tallies, we do 4 lines, and then the 5th one we go across. So that's we don't do a 5th one and then go across. Our 5th one we go across. It looks a little bit like a gate with 4 lines and 1 line across. And because it looks a bit like a gate, I thought, let's take a trip to the farm. Now, what we need to do on the farm, in the moment, I know the farmer's going to let all of his animals out. And what I would like you to do is to do a tally, making a note of all the animals you see. And the farmer, I know in his field, he's got horses, he's got cows, and he's got sheep. So get your whiteboard ready, get ready to jot down and make your little table, jot down at the tally of the animals when they go past. Are you ready? Here we go. Oh, there's our first one. There's a cow. So you should be writing the word cow and then doing a line next to it. Oh, there's a sheep. So now we need to write down sheep, sheep. And a horse. Horse. That's our first horse. Another horse. Oh, 2 horses. And 1, 2, 3 sheep. So that's 1, 2, 3 more lines for sheep. And oh, look at all those cows. 1, 2, 3, 4 cows. So 4 more lines for the cow. Remember to close the gate when you need to. And there's 2 sheep, 3 sheep. 3 more lines for the sheep. And some horses, 2 horses. Is that it? Oh no, there's another horse. Oh, and some sheep, 3 sheep. And some more sheep, 1, 2, 3 more lines for the sheep. Is that it? Oh, some more sheep, 1, 2 sheep. Oh, 1 more horse. Oh, look at this big cow coming. Wow, he's a huge cow, isn't he? Okay, now I think the farmer's putting all the animals back in their enclosures for the end of the day. So how did you get on? Hopefully your tally looks a little bit like this. So how many cows were there? 5 and 1 is 6. How many sheep? 5 and 5 and 5 is 15. And how many horses? 5 and 2 is 7. Well, I hope we all got the same tallies there. Well done if you got the same as me. Now then, we're just going to have a little look at these 2 children, and they're doing some exercises, and they're going to be doing some jumping, and we're going to have a go at tallying them as they jump. So this is for you to watch this one. So don't do this one yourself, just watch these tallies. So we'll start with that little girl doing her jumps. Off you go. And we'll tally each jump she does. Oh, and she stopped. There we go. And then let's see if the little boy's going to do his jumps. Ready, steady, go. Okay, there we go. Right, so we've done our tallies there. What I want you to do is to have a little look and see if you can spot any problems. You can pause the video here for a second and have a look to see if there's anything we need to do. I nearly gave the game away then, didn't I? Okay, if you spotted any problems, well, let's see. I think for the little girl's jumps, we've got too many lines, haven't we? Because we've got that one that shouldn't be there. Let's move that one out of the way. So that one's a bit better. So now we've got 5 and 2. And what about for the little boy? So all together we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines, but we know we're supposed to put them into groups of 5. So I can take one of those lines, that one there, and move it just like that to turn it into a group of 5. So now we've got 5 and 1. So the little girl did 7 jumps and the little boy did 6 jumps. Now, I think by now you will be experts at doing tallies. So it's time for you to go and do some for yourself. Now, your challenge today, this is for all of you to do. And it says complete your own tally chart. And I've got some different ideas. You can choose what you would like to do. So you can either ask your family, and there's probably not going to be that many people that live in your house. So you could perhaps do a Zoom call or phone them or something like that, and ask your family what their favorite fruit is. But in order to do this, you do need to ask quite a few people. So if that's a bit tricky, you could look out of your window and you could tally the different cars you see as they go by if you've got a road outside your window. And you could tally the different colours. Or perhaps you could take something like Lego or some other toys or bricks that you've got, and you could take a few handfuls of them and tally the different colours. Or perhaps when you go out for your walk, you could tally different things that you could see. You might tally different birds you see, or maybe how many lampposts and post boxes, things like that, how many of those you see, or how many cars, lorries, bikes, or buses that you see. So you could come up with some different idea for yourself. So what I would like you to do is to think, what is it that you're going to go and investigate? Make up your table and then do your tally chart and work out which is the most common out of the things or the most popular out of the things you tally. So good luck with that. We'd love to see what you've done, but I have got one more thing, an extra challenge should you want to do it. So if you'd like to do this challenge, we've got our shopkeeper here and he's just working out how much stock he's got in his shop. So first of all, he's been looking at his biscuits, his rich tea biscuit. They come in packets of 2. And he's done a tally chart there, and you can see the tally that he's got. But because they come in packets of 2, he needs to know how many packets of biscuits he's got. So you need to do some multiplying so that whatever tally he's got there, each one of those means 2 packets of biscuits. And then onto the eggs. He wants to know how many eggs he's got. So he's tallied that he has got that number of packets of boxes of 10 eggs. So he's got 5 and 5 and 3, which is 13 boxes of 10. So how many eggs is that all together? And then the fudge bars, they come in packets of 5, but he wants to know how many individual fudges he's got. And then the crayons, which is the trickiest one, they come in packets of 8. And you can see he's tallied how many packets he's got, but how many crayons is that? Okay, so that activity should take you about 10 minutes, should you want to do that one. Okay, and we'll just go through the answers to that one once you've done it. See you in a moment. Okay, so for the first one, altogether there were 5, 10, 15, 23 packets. And because there were 2 packets in each twin pack, it's 23 times 2, which is 46. Then onto the eggs. We had 5 and 5 is 10, and 3 is 13. 13 lots of 10. There are 130 eggs. And then the fudges are in 5s, and there are 5, 10, 15, 20 packets. So it's 20 times 5. That is 100 fudge bars. Oh, isn't he a lucky shopkeeper? And then onto the crayons, there's 5 and 5 and 5, which is 15. 15 lots of 8. The way that I would do this, I would do 5 times 8 because I know my 5 times table and I know that 5 8s or 8 5s is 40. So I've got 40 and 40 and 40. And if I know that 4 and 4 and 4 is 12, that helps me know that 40 and 40 and 40 is 120. So well done if you got those ones correct. Now, that's it for today's lesson. Today we've been looking at how brilliant mathematicians use tally charts. In tomorrow's lesson, we're going to be looking at something called pictograms. So I look forward to seeing you then. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.